everyone, this is Deb. Okay, we are on day number 11 for 25 Days of Christmas, and we are on our next project that we are going to make, and it is going to be a little drink pouch. So you can put hot chocolate in there, you can put cider, anything that comes in, a square packet that looks like this. So I don't think you can get tea bags that are in this kind of packaging, but anything that you can find that looks like that. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to start with a piece of designer series paper that is 12 by 12. And the first thing we're going to do is we are going to cut off 1 inch. Okay, we're going to cut off 1 inch off of the one of the sides of paper. And we're going to set that off to the side. We don't need that right now. Now what we're going to do is we are going to turn our paper. So now we're on that full 12 by 12 side. And we are going to score it at 6 inches. Okay, so we started out with a piece of 12 by 12. Took 1 inch off of one side, rotate our paper so our 12 by 12 is across the top there, and now we're going to score it at 6 inches. Now we're going to flip it back where it was, and we are going to score it at 3.5 on both sides. So we're going to go to this side here, line it up to 3.5, score it, rotate our paper to the other side, and then we are going to score again at 3.5. Okay, and that is it for our scoring. It is that simple. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put that over to the side. Now we're going to take our bone folder and we're actually going to just burnish those lines. So this piece of designer paper is from the Merry and Bright, I think, or Bold and Bright designer series paper. So it's absolutely beautiful. So we're going to take those 2 lines, and then we're going to take this center line as well and just fold those down so we get some nice creases. So hopefully you guys can see kind of where those are. All right, so now you're going to need a pair of scissors if you decide to do this with me. And we are just going to cut along that first score line right there. Turn it and do the same thing on the other side. Okay, exact same thing. And that is that. So all we did was on that 6 inch score line that we had, we just cut to our next score line. Now all we're going to do is we're going to take each one of these sides and we're just going to angle it down to line up with that score line. So you're just going to line it up there, and then you can just take your bone folder and just crease it. And you're going to do that to each one of these flaps. Line it up with your score line. Okay, so it's nice and straight. And then just take your, you can take your, just your finger and run it across there, or your bone folder gives you a nice, flat crease. We're going to flip it over and do the exact same thing. Bring it down, line it up, and there you go. And do that for each side. So this is this is a nice little stocking stuffer, or even if you're getting someone a gift, this makes, I think, a nice little outside the present. So if you have a box and you were to attach this to the outside of the box with a little string or ribbon, you know, it's just something extra, you know, and then you could, instead of, we'll decorate it, but instead of decorating it, you could put their name. All right, so make sure I have perfect. So what I want to do now is I'm just going to take each one of these sides and I'm going to fold it in. Okay, oops, let me get this up here like this so you guys can see it. So just take each one of the sides and you're just going to fold it in. Now I'm going to go to the other side here and do the exact same thing. I'm just going to fold those right in. And it doesn't matter. You can fold the left side in first, the right side. That part is up to you. So what you end up with is something like this. And then I'm going to bend it. And now what I can do is I can just glue these bottom flaps together. I can use tear and tape, or you can take a stapler, okay? Or if you wanted to, you could take a piece of designer series paper and actually kind of decorate and put that down there at the bottom as well. So totally up to you. Lots of different methods. I will go ahead and just take liquid glue and I'm just going to run it all along the edge here. And then fold those right back in together. And then I'm just going to press. And I'm going to turn it over and do the exact same thing on the other side. I'm going to bring the glue up maybe just a hair. So if it decides to ooze a little bit, it will still be inside. And get that off there. And then what we're going to do is just add a little bit in between to get those to stay together as well. And that is it. So if you were doing a bunch of these, you would probably want to maybe staple them. That might be a lot quicker than using liquid glue or tear and tape. Just take a stapler and put 3 staples in the bottom and you are well on your way to keeping those together. And that is your envelope part. Make sure that's pretty well together there. And I do think you got to be careful because it is a little sticky on mine. But I think it's, you know, it's fine. It'll dry. So now what you can do is take some hot chocolate packets and you just put those in these 2 pouches that you have just formed. Look at that. Let's get that down in there. And there, look at that. Isn't that cool? So now we're going to decorate it. Get my little too much. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to take and put a little band around it and decorate the band. So I have a piece of 1 1/4 by 11 inch belly band, and I'm just going to take that and I'm going to wrap it around my little hot chocolate packet here. And then I'm going to adhere this right to my packaging. So again, we'll just add a little liquid glue there. And oops, I think I may have gone a little far. All right. And you know what we're going to do? Watch this little, okay, I'm going to lift this up just for a sec here. And we're going to see about moving it over a little bit. There we go. All right, we will fix our fix our mistake, right? So all I'm doing is going to move it down just a little bit. Still showing, obviously I still have the glue, right? But now when I maybe decorate it, I'm hoping that some of that will get covered up either by ribbon or by my actual emblem that I'm gonna, my little centerpiece there for my card. Okay, so now I'm gonna take some of this ribbon. Now this is an older ribbon. I'm out of other green here, and I'm just gonna tie a piece of ribbon right around this nice little hot chocolate packet. And we're just gonna tie a nice little knot over here. You could do a ribbon or a bow, excuse me. Make sure you guys can still see there. Oops. All right. There we go. Give it a nice little tie, and we will just cut this off. And then let's stamp our greeting or our image, and then we will be ready to go. So I am going to be using this rocking horse, but we're going to use the presents and then just wishing you an old-fashioned Christmas. So, and it might be that we have room for one of these. So we'll just see what fits on our circle. So we are going to take a piece of white, basic white cardstock, and we are going to stamp, and we're actually going to stamp in shaded spruce. So we are going to take, and where is, here's my circle punch. So I'm going to go ahead for this particular one. I'm going to actually stamp, or I'm going to actually do the circle and punch that out first, because I don't know how much space I'm actually working with. So I'm going to start with my greeting here and then see maybe what I have on the outside of the greeting. And for the greeting, I'm going to use Old Olive. Okay, and we'll just put that maybe more toward the top. There we go. And then for our, see if we can do some of the presents, or maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do a little trumpet horn. What do you guys think? Because that fits perfectly below. So let's do that. And we will, because I have green here, that's the color that we'll use. So we're going to go ahead and take this green and make sure I got this going the right direction, right? And we will just put that right down in the center there. And now I can use some alcohol markers to color that in. So I'm going to use some Daffodil Delight here. Make sure I got these. Yep. And we'll just use this to add a little bit of color here to our horn. Sometimes I forget, you know, as we have our alcohol markers, and you do have to be careful, right? But they're, you know, you can stamp in some of these other colors. You do have to watch that you don't let you know, sometimes it can mix and you end up with something maybe different than what you actually wanted. So now we can take our nice stamped image here, and we are just going to adhere it right there to the center with a few dimensionals. And then that is it. We'll add one other little touch. To our card here. So remember how I told you we had that piece of a little bit of glue there and our ribbon was able to cover it up. So there we have it. And then I have some of these wooden spoons. I actually used them last year when we made these little tea bag holders right here. And we had little spoons in there. So we'll actually go through and do more of these in another video. I'm sure we'll hit that as part of our 25 days. But here you go, guys. That is it. And it's got 2 pouches on it. And then you can put this little spoon in there. Here's another one. This paper is from last year. And remember how I told you could staple? So you can staple the bottom, or you can, again, you can glue it. So it just gives you a little bit of perspective as far as what they might look like. But they both hold 2 things of hot chocolate. But again, a absolutely adorable little gift that you could put on everybody's desk at work, or take to your neighbors, or even throw one in the mailbox for your postman. The other thing you can do, just to give you some more ideas, if we have like to-go coffee cups, you know, the Chinette ones that you get that have the nice little lid, you could take one of those and I don't know if this will fit inside, but you could take this and one of those cups and you could put it in like a little cellophane bag. I mean, I think that'd be adorable too. So again, super easy, a great way to use up your designer series paper that you might have left over for Christmas that maybe you're like, okay, you know, and sometimes we want to save it and then new stuff comes out next year. So these are perfect ways to use up that designer paper. Because if you think about it, we used the whole sheet except for this 1-inch strip. And as I was just sitting here thinking, the other thing you could do, like on this one, well, on this one, I should say, we could have taken this strip and used that instead of adding ribbon. Like we could have put the cardstock and then you could take this to put around. And that way you're using the whole sheet. So you don't have any leftovers. So anyhow, so there you go, guys. That is day 11. I hope you liked this. Drop your comments. Feel free to subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, would love for you to join our little YouTube community here. That would be awesome as we're growing and trying to get to 1,000 users or 1,000 subscribers pretty quickly here. So thanks much, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye, guys.